a massive amount of retail traders got absolutely fucked because they tried to buy gold in a war. Now typically that sounds good. This is what most retail traders are told, is gold is a risk-off asset. And whilst this is true, you need to understand the context, and the mistake that most traders made in this situation is they don't understand the market mechanics and they don't understand what actually moves markets and why. On the 28th of February 2026, the United States and Israel launched surprise airstrikes on multiple sites and cities across Iran. So immediately this headline hit traders' phones. They go straight to MetaTrader, they open positions, long gold, buy gold, high risk buy gold. And this has clearly been the wrong decision. So let's break down why gold didn't rally, why oil is up, and what is the real situation. To explain why gold isn't up, we actually need to move our attention to a different market. And that market is oil. We see oil has spiked to the upside as soon as the war was announced. And from that point, oil continued to rally to the upside. We then got news that the IRGC confirmed the Strait of Hormuz to be closed. We need to think about why this matters. Now, the reason this matters is because about 20% of the world's oil usually passes through the Strait of Hormuz. And it's not just from Iran, but also from the Gulf states such as Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. So during the first market gap open, when we first had the news of the war, investors were already looking at the Strait of Hormuz as a risk. It would be extremely naive for a war to break out right where the Strait of Hormuz is and expect oil to stay flatlined or for the supply and demand chain to remain intact. But why would this make gold go lower? The reason this drove gold lower is simply because of the dynamic that oil has with inflation. The easiest way to understand this is when oil is rallying, like what we have seen, it can affect inflation. And the reason is because people have to pay more for their energy, so people spending more, putting more money into the economy, can heat up inflation. If we take a look at the bottom left chart and the bottom middle chart, these are what we call yields. We have two different sets. We have the 10-year yields on the left and we have the 2-year yields in the middle. Our main focus right now is the 2-year yields. These are what we can call short-end yields. To put it simply, the 2-year yields are good at seeing what market participants and investors are expecting for the future policy path. So before the war, we can see these short-end yields were relatively flat and some of them actually sloping to the downside. However, we see all of them picking up and start trending to the upside all at the same time. So because of higher oil prices, market participants and investors are expecting higher inflation. And because of that higher inflation, market participants and investors are pricing in rate holds, maybe rate hikes for certain places. And now if we take a look at the US dollar, we can clearly see it's been gaining strength. Since the start of the war, the US dollar has experienced what we call war premium, as well as the US dollar acting as a safe haven. And then we can also pair it with what we've just spoken about regarding central banks and short-end yields, which also keep a currency supported. So what we're seeing is a stronger US dollar, threats of higher inflation, short-end and long-end yields are elevated. And that brings us back round to gold, because gold isn't just a safe haven, it's what we call a yield trade. So if we have yields going up, we have central banks going on hold, and we have currencies actually strengthening, that gives investors what's known as opportunity cost. So by holding gold, which is declining, they are losing money, whereas they could take that money, put it into different assets, and make more money. And that is the opportunity. So on the surface, yes, gold is a safe haven asset, but it goes deeper than that. So now, as we've spoken about, we have different factors that are running against gold and keeping it pressured. We have a strong US dollar, elevated yields, central banks on hold. So what is the plan for gold going forwards? Well, I still remain bullish. However, right now is just not the time to be buying gold. As we can see on the daily time frame, we've had a wick to the downside which rejected our 200 daily moving average very, very nicely. So if we can start seeing gold catching a bid from this point, it might be a good idea to start accumulating for the long term. With that said, we are still not in a great environment for gold to rally. So whilst I have no expectations for gold to start creating new all-time highs anytime soon, I would expect it to continue higher over time. However, right now, I do think short plays are the way to go. We could also look at this drop as an opportunity for investors to start taking profits. We already had a gold crash earlier in 2026. We then saw gold catching a bid. We saw buyers stepping in. So with all of this war situation and everything we've already spoken about, this is not just a case of people selling gold. It's also a case of people taking profits from their long positions. So this is actually an opportunity to buy lower from the previous dip. Now again, to clarify, I am not buying gold yet, and I'm not telling you to do anything with your money. This is just my view, my opinion. So once the fundamentals start to change, or we can see de-escalations within the Middle East, I will be looking to pick up a little bit of gold and essentially DCA or layer a position for the long term. If you found this video useful and you've enjoyed it, please drop a like and a subscribe. It does help me out a lot.